Welcome to Football Scientific. I'm Aaron Sauter, professor of football science, writer for FootballAnalysisOne.com, CFLNewsHub.com, and UFLNewsHub.com. We cover the NFL, the CFL, the UFL, and then coming up soon the NAL and IFL. Today, there was lots of news. It's a very busy day in the world of professional football at all leagues. So we went through and wrote some articles. We broke out some information. We did a lot of statistical breakdown, watched some film in detail from yesterday and the Sunday championship games for the NFL, and really getting ready for the Super Bowl here. Okay, today we're just going to go through and review all those notes and statistics and breakdowns and kind of give ourselves a baseline for going forward here. On TikTok, we're starting to do coaching breakdowns of the Seattle Seahawks offense. I made my first video with that today. Check it out. And I'm joined today by my guest host, Tyler the Tiger. Tyler the Tiger here, ready to go. Look, pretty busy day of football. Sounds like I've just been sleeping all day, just hanging around sleeping. And I see we got some fans. Some fans are joining Football Scientific and our Facebook page for the puppets. They like the puppets, and that's me. Okay, so that's going well. Professor, how's your day been? My day's been pretty busy. I did a lot of stuff today and did some research and film breakdown, stuff like that. Wow, that's great. I took a nap. I took a nap and napped some more. And I woke up and I took another nap. I woke up just for this. Look how aware I look. Yeah, you do look very aware. That's nice. I know. That's what I said. I look aware. You're aware that I look aware. And that means you're aware. And that's good. So let's get this going. Let's break it down. Break it down. Break it down. Okay, let's break it down. They got a little weird, Tyler. But first, let's break down the games from yesterday, the AFC and NFC championship games. The first one, AFC championship game at 3 o'clock. We had the New England Patriots at the Denver Broncos. We did a live analysis of this game on TikTok. We did live with that and did analysis, and that's pretty popular. And we had a good time with that, too. Boom, for the Patriots, Drake May came out. It was very snowy in the second half. Mental notes. You're going to hear these stats, and they're not going to sound very good. But the second half, it was like a blizzard in Denver, okay? Drake May went out and went 10 for 21 for 86 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Not a great day for Drake May. Not a great day for offense. Ramondre Stevenson carried a lot of the way to New England Patriots offense. 25 carries, 71 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Mac Hollins, who got renewed off the IR list and activated just before the game, had 2 catches for 51 yards, 2 big-time catches for 51 yards, and they had 3 quarterback sacks, which was meaningful because you had Jarrett Stidham on the other side, and he had to keep it continually kept pressuring him. Okay. On the Broncos side, Jarrett Stidham went 17 for 31, 133 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 1 lost fumble. So the 2 turnovers negate the 1 touchdown. Yeah, he got the 1 touchdown early in the game, first touchdown in the game on a little boot pass, but then he fumbled it, leading to a Patriots touchdown, and then he threw an interception leading to a Patriots field goal. And that was it, man. R.J. Harvey had 13 runs for 37 yards, 0 touchdowns. I was hoping they could play J.K. Dobbins more since he's coming off the IR. He'd have fresh legs, but they played a lot of R.J. Harvey. They couldn't really get the running game going. I mean, there was a little while where they hit like 9 yards a carry early on, but then they kind of abandoned it. They abandoned it when it got really snowy, which was weird. Cortland Sutton had 3 catches for 17 yards, 1 touchdown. Tough passing day. The game got to a point where I couldn't even see the ball, and I was watching it on TV. Boom, and the Denver Broncos generated their amazing pass rush. They came in this game with 74 sacks for the season, and now they got 79. They had 71. So now they got 76. Boom, 76 sacks for the season for Denver Broncos. That's crazy. But guess what? It wasn't enough. They had 5 sacks in the game until now. Patriots won 10-7 in a snowy Denver Broncos Mile High game, and they broke the Mile High curse. They had lost every playoff game in Denver for the last 40 years, which is 4 games. They were 0-4, and now they finally won 1, so they broke the curse. Okay, nice job. I had an article about some bold predictions for these games on FootballAnalysisOne.com. Go back and look. You'll see we were right on time with this. Right on the spot. Los Angeles Rams, NFC Championship game, Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks. I mentioned in my bold predictions article on FootballAnalysisOne.com that the AFC Championship was going to be a very defensive game. I didn't even expect the weather. I just knew it was going to be a tough defensive game. Both offenses were going to have a hard time operating. But this NFC Championship, we mentioned, is going to be an offensive-driven game and be high-scoring. And that's what we got. And the weather was clear there, too. That helps a lot. The Rams, Matthew Stafford went 22 for 35 for 374 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's a great game by Matthew Stafford. Blake Corum had 9 runs for 55 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Wide receiver Puka Nacua had 9 catches, 165 yards, and a touchdown. And the LA Rams had 3 quarterback sacks. Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold went 25 for 36 for 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Another great quarterback performance. Both quarterbacks excelled in this game. Kenneth Walker III had 19 runs for 62 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 fumbles. He ran really hard in that game too. I'm surprised he only had 62 yards. It looked like he took the game over, but I mean they didn't run the ball that much. They ran it more than the Rams did though. Jackson Smith-Njigba had a huge game. They did some interesting things schematically to get him open. He had 10 catches, 153 yards, one touchdown, and they had 1 sack. Remember last time they played, they had Puka Nacua and Jackson Smith-Njigba had a hard time getting open. Both teams kind of shut him down. But this time, Seattle really found some ways to get him open. Same from Puka Nacua. Both players played well. But ultimately, the Seahawks won 31-27. Boom. Okay, so that sets up a Super Bowl between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. That'll be in 2 weeks. So we won't kill you with Super Bowl coverage this week. But no, I'm going through that Seattle Seahawks offense on TikTok with the Coaching Corner series of videos. All right, boom. Other news in the NFL, the Las Vegas Raiders, they have requested to meet Davis Webb, the Denver Broncos passing game coordinator and quarterback coach Davis Webb for their head coaching, but they want to interview him for their head coaching position. Buffalo Bills want to interview Davis Webb. And, Grant Udinski completed an interview with the Buffalo Bills. He's going to re-sign with Jacksonville Jaguars, but his one out is if he gets offered a Buffalo job, he'll be allowed to break his contract and leave Jacksonville. But he did get paid more money, so he's looking to stay in Jacksonville. But if he can get the Buffalo job, he's going to go for it. Jacksonville Jaguars hired Brian Picucci from Tampa Bay Buccaneers as their run game coordinator. He's moved over with the coaching staff that left Tampa Bay last year to come to Jacksonville. New York Giants are hiring Denard Wilson as their new defensive coordinator. Las Vegas Raiders did their second head coach interview with Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady. Las Vegas Raiders will meet with Broncos passing game coordinator Davis Webb next week, unless he already has a job by then. But they're going to meet with him again. He might be the front runner for that job, it feels like. Him or Joe Brady. Jacksonville Jaguars, as mentioned, Grant Udinski got a boost in pay, got re-signed, got extended. His out is, though, if he gets offered by the Buffalo Bills, he will be able to take that job. He did step out of the Cleveland Browns head coaching search. He does not want a piece of that. Okay, Atlanta Falcons named Craig Offerman as their special teams coordinator. Ackerman. LA Chargers defense tackle Tier Tart agreed to a 3-year contract extension with the Chargers at defensive tackle. Buffalo Bills quarterback Phillip Rivers did the right thing and withdrew his name from the Bills head coaching position. Head coaching spot. That's good. That was not the right move. I wrote an article about that on FootballAnalysisOne.com. Check that out. Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders has been automatically boosted to the Pro Bowl, as if that matters. They're going to play flag football or something, literally. Is he replacing Drake May because Drake May is in the Super Bowl and doesn't want to go to the Pro Bowl. Doesn't want to mess around with that, you know. You got to hurt and stuff. Buffalo Bills. They completed an interview with Browns passing game coordinator, Broncos passing game coordinator Davis Webb. He's getting shopped around. He might get rated for too long. Buffalo Bills have also requested to interview Rams passing game coordinator Nate Scheelhaas for their head coaching position. Today he interviewed with the Cleveland Browns. Denver, I would rather go to the Bills than Cleveland Browns. No offense to Cleveland. Denver Broncos, they signed running back Cody Schrader and Deuce Vaughn to futures contracts. They're just loading up. Yawn. Okay, UFL. St. Louis Battlehawks tight end Jake Sutherland has retired from football. And the IFL, New Mexico Chupacabras, the new team in the IFL, they're replacing the Duke City Gladiators, I believe. They're replacing them with the New Mexico Chupacabras. They look like ketchup and mustard colors. They signed veteran linebacker Wesley Bowens. So they're trying to build their roster up. And then we had a whole bunch of CFL roster moves today. So first, I wrote an article on CFLNewsUp.com about the Hamilton Tiger Cats roster moves, but here's a breakdown of them. They mutually parted ways with wide receiver Tim White, who's due to be a free agent. If you remember last year, they had a long dispute with Tim White about signing a contract. He wanted to be the top paid receiver in the league. They didn't feel like he deserved that. And it ended up being a thing. And now he's gone. And he has four straight 4,000-yard seasons. So he is pretty good. He just doesn't dominate the game. You know, he just doesn't. He's a good accumulator of stats. They also released wide receiver Drew Woltarski right before he gets a roster bonus. So they said goodbye to him too. He didn't play any games last year. They're not going to pay him a bonus. That would be dumb. And then re-signed quarterback Jake Dolegala. Speaking of not playing much, he had 22 runs last year. That's all he did. But they re-signed him. Okay. And then running back Larry Roundtree from the Birmingham Stallions is now a Hamilton Tiger Cat. And then wide receiver Jesse Matthews from the Atlanta Falcons practice squad is now a Hamilton Tiger Cat. They're trying to Argonauts sign American running back Samuel Hicks. They signed American defensive back Owen Goss. They released national offensive lineman Darius Sirocco. They released American defensive lineman Derek Parrish. Winnipeg Blue Bombers signed American linebacker Brandon Boyer Randall. They signed American offensive lineman Micah Mizakow. They signed American defensive lineman Willie Jefferson, which we talked about that last week, but they finally announced it. Montreal Alouettes, they released American wide receiver Austin Mack. He must be taking another run for the NFL. He's pretty good. He spent a little time with the Patriots a couple of years ago. They signed American defensive lineman David Perales. Saskatchewan Roughriders signed American quarterback Jordan McLeod. I haven't heard of him, haven't done much research on him. They signed American offensive lineman Jacob Brammer. They signed American defensive lineman Justin Weaver. Right now, they're just building these training camp rosters, you know. Calgary Stampeders signed American defensive lineman Tremont Morris Brask. They signed American defensive back Derek Moncrief. I've heard of him. They signed American defensive back Cam Alexander. Heard of him. They signed American running back Kayron Lynch Adams. They signed national defensive back Godfrey Anyeta. Ottawa Redblacks, they signed American defensive lineman Anton Junkaj. And they signed American wide receiver Justin Hardy. And the BC Lions signed American defensive back Joshua Pickett. And they signed American running back Tony Jones Jr. And they signed American linebacker Corey Flagg Jr. Okay, so that is a breakdown of all the recent NFL, UFL, IFL, and CFL news. And that was a breakdown of this weekend's championship game. So the Super Bowl table is set between the Patriots and the Seahawks, and we'll start breaking that down as we go here, okay? That was Football Scientific for today. We're going to go live in a little bit and play some music and stuff over on TikTok. And then, like I said, we're going to get that Seattle Seahawks TikTok series going, so check that out, okay? All right, we're closing the Football Scientific portal now. Thanks for joining us.